Today, on Be Something Wonderful, this self-concept technique will make everyone fall in love with you. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. We have a big video for you today, and the question was, Tom, what's wrong with me? Why would I create these circumstances? Why am I seeing this? And she was referring to a specific person, a third party, relationships with her colleagues at work that seem to be negative or not what she wants, relationships with family. She went into all of them. She goes, why would I create any of this? What's wrong with me? And she talked about the idea that coaches and others talk about, that you need to work on your self-concept. This is what she's been told, right? And again, I know that's out there, but she goes, I don't know where to start. And I go, I do. Nothing is wrong with you. What's wrong with me? Nothing. What's wrong with you? Nothing. What do you got to work on? Nothing. It's not about working on your self-concept. I hear that. I know that there's a lot of coaches out there that say that. I know that's what they've heard, right? And sometimes she's saying, they tell me to work on my self-concept, but they don't know where to start or what's wrong or how to do it. But what are you working on? Right? Because remember, stop working on your self-concept and choose. Because what is the idea of a self-concept? It's a certain identity or vantage point or viewpoint of who you are. But who you really are is that complete and utter fulfillment and love of I am awareness. And you're seeing it through a certain perspective or viewpoint or vantage point that we call self-concept. It's not, here's the distinction here. It's not about fixing any one of those viewpoints or vantage points or perspectives. They're not broken. They're just a finite perspective or viewpoint of the infinite multidimensional being that you are, of the utter fulfillment and love or all that isness that you are. So it's always about choosing. It's not about, there's nothing, 3D reality or the physical experience is not broken. It's just a finite projection or reflection of all that you are. Do you see it? It's a finite, specific vantage point or perspective of the all that isness that you are. No one perspective or viewpoint or vantage point or physical experience is broken that needs to be fixed. It's about choosing. So this is where I want to start today. Remember, you are love. You are fulfillment. You are all that is. That I am awareness. The center of all that is. Experiencing yourself from infinite, finite perspectives. That's what they mean by the finite physical mind. It's a perspective of that one divine mind. That one ultimate reality of love. The one thought of God, which is utter unconditional love. You're seeing that one thought from infinite perspectives. Infinite finite perspectives that we call thoughts, and that we feel these thoughts in our body, we call them feelings. But none of them are who you are. They're just perspectives or viewpoints of all that you are. This is really what you need to remember. Not one of them is broken or needs to be fixed or changed or altered. Stop trying to think and feel better about an identity, a reality, a version of you that you no longer prefer, that you no longer resonate with. You see, we see these changing circumstances. We believe there's an identity or version of us or a self-concept that we have to fix. It just means that it's a perspective or viewpoint or vantage point or identity or version of you that's no longer your preference, that you no longer prefer, that experience is no longer your choice. So choose again. That's what it's about. So let's talk about this like we never have before. I want you to remember who you are. And then we're going to work our way through it. We've always do this, right? But remember, you are this great I am, ultimate reality, the one living God, the Father, the one universal living mind, they call it, right? The pure knowing, pure awareness. It's unknowable, it's undefinable, right? It's just that big isness of reality, the all, the absolute. What God said to Moses, I am that I am. I am who I am. I'm that great isness, right? It's not to be defined or even known in this ultimate state because it's all knowing itself. It doesn't see itself separate from anything. Then there's the first conception or manifestation of the all, of this one beingness, aware of itself as all that is. As all that is, as all identities, as all possibilities, as all potential, as everything, everywhere, all at once. That I am awareness of being a God, the Christ, the Son of the living God, the Son of that living, one universal living mind. That's all that is. So you are all of it in potential, right? And the reason the ancients say it's undefinable, this one isness or existence of reality, or unknowable, is because it's unknowable, undefinable from that physical, finite perspective. You can only know it through your experience. Do you see it? So let's get to this. Then you have that one divine intelligent mind, that one intelligent mind, that one thought of love, that one thought of God. And that's why the ancients, Jesus, as your I am awareness, asked his disciples, remember the metaphysical meaning of this, who do you say that I am? In other words, you're at the center of that one divine mind. Defining yourself, who do you say you are? Right? And remember, the disciples answered, and they answered Elijah or one of John the Baptist, one of the prophets, maybe Jeremiah, right? And Jesus presses them. He goes, okay, but who do you say I am? In other words, who are you? You're not the changing thoughts and feelings. You're not the changing circumstances. You're not that finite identity or perspective or viewpoint. You're more than that. You're greater than all of it. But you know yourself through those finite but infinite perspectives or viewpoints or vantage points or assumptions or definitions of who you are. But it's not who you are this. And then finally, Peter answers, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God, the Son of that living one universal mind. That you are that. You are at the center, or in other words, I am the center of that one universal living mind, all that is. All potential, having a finite physical experience. That's who you are. You are that one mind having a finite, infinite, finite physical experiences. The finite physical mind, what we call when you say my mind or your mind, is just an experience or perspective or viewpoint or vantage point as that center of the one divine mind. All thoughts, those thousands of thoughts, are just a perspective of the one thought of love. Seeing that one thought of love, of God, from an infinite vantage point or viewpoint or perspective. And those different viewpoints or perspectives, we experience those as an experience, as a horizontal linear experience in time and space. Do you see it? But it's all one, it's all now, it's one moment, one substance of love that you're experiencing through various perspectives of viewpoints that we call thoughts and feelings, and identities and concepts and assumptions. But none of it is who you really are. You're all of this. You are all that potential. So you have the great I am, the truth of reality, who you really are, that one mind of God, that one thought of love, right? And then you have you as the center. I am all that is. I am the Christ, the Son of the living God. In other words, I'm the center of all of it, right? And then you have your assumptions, your beliefs, your definitions of who you are. But it doesn't change who you really are. It's a mere perspective or viewpoint or vantage point. So we call these, sometimes we call them the subjective or the subconscious mind. But there's only one mind. And all of those subjective definitions or assumptions are subject to who you are right now, who you define yourself to be. That's why Jesus asked, who do people say that I, the Son of Man, am? Who do people, remember what people represents. They represent thoughts, they represent feelings, they represent circumstances, both seen people, events, and things, and unseen thoughts, feelings, and conditions. Who do people? Who do the people, events, and things, or the thoughts and feelings say that I, the Son of Man, am? This is you in your physical experience, but as the Son of God, as Christ, the Son of the living God, right? As the center of reality, defining yourself, asking yourself, who am I? What do I believe about myself? My definitions. That's what that means. That's what that I am, Jesus as your I am awareness is asking his disciples, right? In Matthew 16:15. So who do people say that I, the Son of Man, am? I am, right? And then the disciples answer. Some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. They go off on a tangent. In other words, maybe it's this person or this event. Maybe I'm defined by this thought or this feeling or this circumstance or these unwanted things that are happening to me. Or maybe it's these assumptions of beliefs that these subjective assumptions or beliefs of who I am. What I believe is the truth or true of who I am in my reality. Maybe that's who I am. That's what Jesus is asking. The Son of Man. Remember, Jesus representing both the Son of Man and Son of God. In other words, you in your physical experience, with all your definitions and beliefs of who you are that are different every moment, and you as the center of all that is, as the center of that divine mind. There's only one mind, right? There's only one thought, love. There's only one moment, now. But you experience that one moment, that one now moment, that one thought of love, right? That one reality of who you are from infinite perspectives or viewpoints or vantage points, right? That we call our physical mind or our physical experience. But it's all you right now. So, in other words, from and through what lens, what perspective, what viewpoint, what vantage point are you perceiving, seeing, and defining yourself as I am awareness to be? What assumptions or conception or concept of yourself? But hear this, no matter what concept or conception or definition that you're seeing, viewpoint that you're taking on, none of them, not one of them is broken or needs fixing or needs to be worked on. That's the big myth in the reality creation community that even the coaches, many coaches have bought into because they read it, they heard it, that it's the answer, it must be. If you're not seeing the things you want, something must be broken, right? That your thoughts and feelings and your identity and everything, something's broken there. You need to fix that. Nothing's broken. It's just a viewpoint. It's just a perspective. All those infinite or thousands of thoughts are just a perspective of the one thought of love. Do you see this? And we feel those in a certain way. But even the feeling is just a translation of source energy, of the true love that you are. So if it's something that doesn't, if it's a sensation that doesn't feel good, it's simply pointing to an identity or a version or an assumption that you no longer identify with as who you are. That's why it doesn't feel good. You're not that person anymore. You're no longer that, but then when we don't feel good, we try to fix our thoughts and feelings about it, about a reality, about a version of you that you no longer choose. It's no longer your preference. So you don't need to prop that up. It's not broken. It doesn't need to be fixed. That feeling in your body that feels like anxiety or frustration or even hate or whatever it is just pointing to the idea that you no longer resonate with that identity, with that assumption of who you are. What it's really saying is choose again. Who are you now? Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And you can go off on a tangent like the disciples did and say John the Baptist, Elijah, Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. Who knows? In other words, maybe it's this person or this thing that's making me feel that way, or this thought or this feeling. None of it is who you are. It's saying choose again. Each physical identity or viewpoint is a finite experience of the infinite love and fulfillment that you are. Each identity or perspective is a finite experience of all that is or all that you are. That's all. It's not broken. It doesn't need to be fixed or worked on or anything. It's about choosing as the creator, choosing as all that is. What do I want to, with whom or do I want to identify with now? What identity? What version of me? Right? But if you always identify as the creator, seeing reality through a certain perspective or viewpoint or vantage point, then it doesn't matter what those that's why Bashar and the others say circumstances don't matter, state of being matters. In other words, what does he mean by that? The state of being, or the concept or the conception you have of your beingness, of who you are. When you identify as the creator, now you know it's not about changing or altering or fixing or propping up or getting rid of any one reality or identity or version of you. It's about choosing as the creator, knowing that no one experience is who you are, that you're all possibilities, seeing reality, experiencing reality through some finite perspective that we call the physical mind, right? Some thought of the love that we are. This is powerful. So there it is. Do you see here now we have this you as the center, right? You have your definitions and assumptions of who you are, but all of that merges with that one divine mind. The more you define yourself, the broader idea of who you are, the more aware you are of yourself as all that is, the bigger experience you create of yourself as reality. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. That's what Peter finally answers. That's who you are. Do you see it? And so you create this idea. So your assumptions of yourself, your definitions become bigger. You create this bigger and broader and more fulfilling experience of the fulfillment that you are. You create this more loving experience of the love that you already are. The whole world and everyone will just start falling in love with you because you become that love. You know, yes, I'm creating this specific experience, but you know who you really are as you create that as you look through that certain lens or perspective or viewpoint or identity or vantage point. I am unconditional love and fulfillment, being aware of myself as that, all that one divine mind, as all that is. I am that I am. The world and everyone else has already fallen in love with you. You're just not seeing it because you're having this physical perspective or viewpoint or vantage point of who you are, but assuming that it's limited and that's all that you are. But when you know that you're all of it, having this finite experience, now you're going to see everyone as in love with you. They're going to be chasing you, right? So stop trying to fix or change or alter or improve who you are, these assumptions, this finite experience, and just be it, announce it, live it now. I am love. Yeah, I have this specific viewpoint or vantage point as a physical finite personality. But I know I'm all of it. I know I'm more of it. I merge with the love that I am. And then everyone must fall in love with you. That's the ultimate self-concept technique. That's what we discussed on the Tom Kearin channel yesterday when I read through an email from one of you. Very powerful. This self-concept technique will make everyone fall in love with you. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, be sure to join us on the Tom Kearin channel. That's our other YouTube channel, We have another big video coming today, and we had a big one yesterday. And this month, later this month, we're going to have our second live event, our second live stream, where I answer your questions in real time as you ask them on the chat. It's really a lot of fun. That's going to be broadcast on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. So if you're a member, join us. If you're not, check out the link below. That's February 23rd, 2025 at 12 noon time Pacific time. I'm going to be coming to you with our second live event of the year. And we do these monthly on the membership channel. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Kearin here in the studios at Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.